evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, we'll get some updates about how groups that help disadvantaged children in our area are continuing to function. We'll have some excerpts from last night's Homa Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, and gas prices are finally starting to rise. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNab Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNab Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Attalla, Homa is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. At last night's Homa Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, Lane Curley declared next week as Public Works Week.
We do have we're very pleased Mr. Taylor has joined us. Welcome, Mr. Taylor. So it turns out this next week is National Public Works Week, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Homa. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for building, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Homa to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2020 marks the 60th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, now therefore be resolved that I, Lane Curley, Mayor of the City of Homa, do hereby designate the week May 17 through 23, 2020 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life. So I'm very pleased to present that to Mr. Taylor and ask that you share that with your employees. We're proud of your employees and the work that you and the leadership of Ms. Moody provide to the citizens of Homa. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Alderman Daniel Berry apologized for making statements at the last meeting that Homa's parks weren't being properly maintained.
I do real quick want to clarify a statement that I made during the last meeting. It was our discussion around Silver Street Park project, and I made reference to the city not properly maintaining some of the existing parks. And when I was watching the replay of that meeting, I realized that my comment was poorly phrased and lacked some prefacing there. It was not at all a comment directed at the job being done by the folks in our Parks and Recreation Department. As with every department across the city, the men and women in these parks, in our Parks and Recreation, they do an incredible job with the resources that have been given to them. And in talking to each of them, they care about what they do. And I think that it reflects in their work. And I appreciate all the efforts of each individual across the departments in our city. And it's these boots on the ground that are in there day in and day out that keep things running. And my statement was not directed at them. It was a statement in general to the board on priorities and allocation of resources, and not to those individuals. So sometimes I don't say what I'm thinking. So I wanted to make sure that they didn't take that the wrong way. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Robin Dunn spoke about rain gardens, Tullahoma City's recycling restarting, and her son comments about less cars driving around is improving air quality.
But when in the world of city government, I've made a couple of requests for price checks for different rain garden plants. So I've got 3 different companies that should come in the next couple of days. So that will help us kind of determine what's going to happen next with the rain garden. And I think this week, it couldn't have been a better week to be National Public Works Day. I know having the recycling stop and then start back up this past week, I know that it took a lot longer to make those routes because I'm sure a lot of people were trying to hold on to as much as they could so that they could make a difference with the amount that we were putting in our landfill. So I want to say first, thank you to our citizens who were able to hold on to that extra recycling for a couple of weeks and for their patience, and especially for our public works workers. They've just been phenomenal the last few weeks, especially. So really a big thank you to them. So we've got a lot of people to be thankful for, that's for sure. So, and that's all I've got today. You got a report?
Think that our environments are healthier because we haven't been driving our cars lately, but to go to the store. Other than that, basically not, because we're stuck here at home. And I think the environments are working their way back up to when they were, because the our motors have been polluting the area and trash. So
yeah. That's a good point. So hopefully we've got a lot of people who are seeing that telecommuting is another option. So thanks, Oliver. That's a good point. So that's all we've got.
That's an excellent point. Thank you. I'm working on the same tank of gas that I was working on about 2.5 weeks ago too. So I'm not driving as much. I'm just thinking, when I was 8 years and 11 months and a couple of days old, if I would have been asked and took the initiative to speak, and was asked to do so, I would have started crying, I'm sure. So, Oliver, you did a great job. Excellent job. I'm proud of you.
The Tennessee gas price average is up this week after declining for nearly 10 consecutive weeks. The state gas price average is now $1.60, which is 6 cents more expensive than last week, 4 cents less than 1 month ago, and 98 cents less than 1 year ago. The average price in Coffee County is $1.67 per gallon of regular unleaded as of noon Monday. Megan Cooper, spokesperson for AAA, said Tennessee motorists are seeing the first increases at the pump since late February, and that the boost is in demand as the state begins its phased reopening is helping to push pump prices higher across the state. Here are some quick facts about our gas prices. 33% of Tennessee filling stations have sub-$1.50 gas prices. Tennessee is the 9th least expensive market in the nation. Tennessee gas prices declined for 69 consecutive days for a total discount of 70 cents per gallon. The lowest 10% of pump prices are $1.37 for regular unleaded. The highest 10% of pump prices are $1.94 for regular unleaded. Nationally, the gas price average is 6 cents more expensive on the week at $1.84, but still cheaper on the month by 3 cents, and $1.02 less for the year. Regardless of the national increase, 40 states will have averages of $2 or less per gallon. And we'll be right back with more News Leader after these messages.
I'm Philip Bourne, McNab Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
What I love most about the McNab Detail Shop is there's someone local that I can trust to pick up my car, have it cleaned, and deliver it back to me in showroom condition.
What really amazed me is when he opened the hood and looked like he had taken the old engine out and put a new engine inside.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind McNab Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Welcome back. News leaders Philip Scoggins recently spoke with Laurel Stone of Child Care Resources and Referral about what they are doing to help with child care issues around the area during the coronavirus crisis.
We work with all the child care facilities in the community. We give assistance and help them with whatever they need help with, and we visit them, and we help them with training and their professional development and anything else they need to be connected with it, as far as resources go.
Okay. Well, how has the coronavirus affected local daycares in the area?
It has affected different daycares in very different ways. It's a wide spectrum. Most of them do have a lower enrollment due to parents being at home due to lack of work or working at home. Some of them have closed because of low enrollment, or it's just not financially feasible for them to stay open. A lot of them have had to, of course, take extra steps for sanitation and cleaning. So there's more supplies and a little more work to it. Some of them have had trouble finding all the groceries that they need to feed the children. So it's a variety of ways. Some of them were more apt to go with the flow than others, and some of them were having a hard time. So we have been here to see how we can help them out in that situation.
Okay. Well, what is your organization doing to assist daycares and help keep children safe?
We have been working from home since the second week of March. That second week, we started calling all of the child care facilities to see what they need. Are they open? What are they struggling with? What do they have questions about? And to just be a listening ear also. So we have been touching base with them at least once every 2 weeks since the beginning of this crisis. We also have been doing webinars for them for their professional development and connecting them up with the resources that they need during this time.
Okay. And what are the resources that you're referring people to?
Those resources consist of several entities. The Tennessee Department of Human Services has guidelines for operating while we're dealing with the coronavirus. So guidelines related to cleaning and group sizing and things like that. They also have daily COVID-19 updates that are on the TN DHS website. Child Care Tennessee is another entity. They've got a website, childcaretennessee.org, and they are helping with all kinds of resources, handouts, flyers, information. The Community Foundation of Tennessee has grants for child care facilities that they can get because of loss of income or response in recovery, whether it's extra supplies or loss of income due to low enrollment with the children, and also helping with paying for salaries of laid off employees and that kind of thing. Also, there are child care assistance for parents who are essential workers. So there's lots of resources out there, and all of us are going back to the CDC guidelines also when it comes to the health and safety of the children and the parents.
Okay. Well, that's a lot. Is there anything else you'd like to add for our viewers on that?
I would just like for all of the child care facilities in Coffee and all surrounding counties, like to let them know that I'm here for if they have questions. I know some of my other coworkers have been making the phone calls to them in the community, but you can always reach out to me. And my phone number is 931-797-9796. You can also email me or go to www.tnccrr.org to contact me, and I can give you more information on all of the resources that are out there for you during this time. And I hope everybody is well and safe.
Okay. Well, thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Philip.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Here at McNab Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Attalla, Homa. We'd always done business with McNab, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at McNab Collision Center.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Susan Johnson, program coordinator for the Isaiah 117 group in our area, recently spoke to us to update us about what their organization is up to.
I'm Philip Scoggins. Today I'm speaking with Susan Johnson with Isaiah 117. She's the program coordinator for Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy County. Thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Okay. Well, for those who are new to your organization, can you briefly explain a little bit about what Isaiah 117 is all about?
Yes. It provides care for children who are awaiting foster placement. So the way the current system is, when a child is removed by the Department of Children's Services, they go wait in an office, a conference room, and sometimes in Grundy County, the county jail, while the caseworker is trying to find foster placement. But if we have an Isaiah 117 house, instead that caseworker will take that child there, where volunteers are there ready to meet the needs of that child and just help assist that caseworker. And also, we're also wanting to ease that foster family transition. So an Isaiah 117 house, it has three parts to the mission. And the first is we want to step in early and reduce that trauma for that child. And second, we want to partner with DCS and come alongside of them with what is a very impossible and hard job. And third, we want to ease that foster family transition. So when they leave the Isaiah house, that child is going to leave with things, because most times the children do not have anything with them. And so they'll leave with their school supplies. They're going to leave with their clothes. And if they need a booster seat or pack and play, they're going to leave with those things. And so that's what the Isaiah 117 house is all about.
Okay. So, and the last time that I spoke to you, you had just surpassed your goal for building a house in the area. Can you update us on what's going along with that?
Well, we did. Our goal was initially, we needed an initial $150,000 in order to start building. And we did reach that goal after our dinner in February, which was a wonderful night. And now we're just in the process of tentatively planning things. COVID-19, it did come in. Our next function was going to be our contractor's dinner, and we were already planning that for April, and we had to cancel that. So that will be our next thing. So our expansion team is already planning that, and as soon as things get back to normal and groups of people can gather together, we're going to have a contractors and builder supply dinner. That will be the next step to see who wants to step up, what they want to help do with the house. Because even though that sounds like a lot of money that we surpassed that 150, you've got to look at our budget is $75,000 for the year. We may have to pay for property, and then the house is amazing. It's going to have a visitation space on the end of it. So you're talking about, 2 full baths and then 2 half baths. So you're talking about a lot of square footage there too. So we really need to have that contractor center to see what support we can get from the community.
Okay. And where did the plans come from for the house?
Those come from Carter County. They have a builder, and so each time that they've built or remodeled a house, They see, what things didn't work. And so that's great for us because then they've realized that they need more storage. And so they've got like an upstairs room that's designed for storage, and which is really good because your older kids, it's set up like a store. So they'll be able to come in and shop for themselves instead of us just picking something out for them. They'll actually, have some choices in that.
Great. Well, since you brought up coronavirus, how is what Isaiah 117 does change recently because of that?
For Isaiah 117 House, we're not able to go to meetings, and we had to change our contractors' dinner, so our expansion committee meetings we're doing them by Zoom, so we're still getting to meet. But one thing is DCS, a lot of people don't realize this, even though the coronavirus has come through, it's not stopped for DCS. Children are still being removed, which is hard to hear because they're already scared. And so with that being said, this has been a good time to reach out to DCS and say, what can we help you do? Because they're still going into homes. They can't just stop. A lot of people don't realize they're working from home, but they're still going into those homes. They're still taking care of these children. So we were able to reach out to them. They needed some supplies like masks and Germ-X and hand sanitizer, just things that are really hard to get right now. And the community stepped up and we were able to meet that need, which is wonderful.
And we'll have the second part of Susan's interview on Thursday's news. We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron. And chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory. And marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Attalla, Homa is ready to help you live and play well.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Federal guidelines the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development follows to administer the Tennessee Unemployment Compensation Program, known as TUC, states that an individual must be willing and able to work to receive unemployment benefits. Not returning to work when there is available employment may be considered a refusal of work and could potentially disqualify claimants from receiving TUC benefits. The Federal CARES Act provides provisions for individuals who have traditionally been ineligible for state unemployment benefits, but those provisions do not apply to employees apprehensive about returning to work because of health concerns. Under federal law, workers who have been placed on a temporary layoff related to COVID-19 who can work and do not qualify for any other unemployment insurance provisions through the state or under the CARES Act must return to work if called back. Following are the COVID-19 eligibility requirements to receive pandemic unemployment assistance provided through the Federal CARES Act. They are diagnosed with COVID-19 or have COVID-19 symptoms and are seeking diagnosis, have a member of the household who is diagnosed with COVID-19, are providing care for a family or household member diagnosed with COVID-19, are the primary caregiver for a child whose school or care facility is closed due to COVID-19, are unable to reach their place of employment due to an imposed quarantine or because advised by a medical provider to self-quarantine due to COVID-19. We're scheduled to start new employment and cannot reach the workplace as a direct result of COVID-19, became the major breadwinner because of the head of a household died from COVID-19, quit their job as a direct result of COVID-19, had their place of employment closed as a direct result of COVID-19, or meet any additional criteria specified by U.S. Secretary of Labor. Employees and employers can find answers to commonly asked questions about returning to work on the department's website, www.tn.gov/workforce. Employers will also find a refusal to work from on the website. They can use this form to notify the department of an employee's refusal to return to work. The department will investigate the claim to determine if the employee is no longer eligible for unemployment benefits because they are able and available to earn income. And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's show includes a tribute to the late, great Little Richard, Bonnaroo 2010 highlights, and we'll look back at the time when John Gray spoke with Rob Galbraith. We'll have all this and more on this week's Living. And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party. But things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her. And now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Clayton has been Tullahoma's family shoe store for over 100 years with a reputation for fashion and personal service. And the tradition continues today. Stop by Clayton and see our large selection of fine shoes.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this date. Our record high was in 1952 at 90 degrees. Record low was in 1957 at 33 degrees. The average high for this day is 76 and the average low is 50. Rain early in tonight's weather with a low of 51. Cloudy on Wednesday with a high of 73 and a low of 59, and partly cloudy for Thursday with a high of 80 and a low of 61. And that's our News Leader Report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. Stay safe and have a great evening.